this meeting, our first meeting of 2025 to order of the Village of Cambridge Board of Trustees. Roll call, please.
Reinig.
Here.
Franklin.
Here.
Blackwood.
Here.
Hollenbeck.
Here.
Krecklau.
Here.
McNally.
Here. All right, if we can stand and say Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Lisa, can you tell us the particulars on posting of this meeting?
The agenda was posted in the upper and lower levels of the Amundsen Community Center, the Cambridge Post Office, Badger Bank, and the village website.
All right, it looks like we're good to go. Moving on, public comment. This is an opportunity for the general public to share their opinions. I see that we have 3 members in the audience. Do you wish to speak? If so, you would have 3 minutes.
Nothing, Jana?
Can I have 15?
Sure. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
3.
Just kidding.
You get my 3.
Well,
No.
okay. All right, fair warning. All righty. We're going to move on. Approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All right.
I'll second.
Discussion? Questions, anybody? I see the Economic Development Committee, that those minutes were for the meeting here on January 7th. Correct, Brian?
Correct.
All right, so Water and Sewer, Joint Review Board, Village Board minutes, nothing? We're all
And
good?
I did in the packet put the reports for each of the TIF districts, just so
Yeah.
the board was familiar.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. That was very helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carries, and we're done with that. Okay, moving on to various reports. I'll start off with, I've got a couple items here tonight, but the first one, I don't know how many of you are aware of this. It's going to probably get a lot more attention in the months ahead. The town of Christiana, right about 1.5 miles outside of town here, right across from where Phil Vosby lives, is there has been a filing to put in a digester plant. And this digester plant, this thing is about 26 acres in size. And what it will do is it will be taking in 20 to 22 loads, semi-loads a day of food waste from the greater Milwaukee area. And then on top of that, there'll be 2 loads a day coming in with manure. And what they want to do is they want to agitate this stuff. They want to produce methane, and the methane will be sent into the Madison market. The town of Christiana voted it down through their planning commission. But now what's happening is this is going to, I think it's the Public Service Commission for a review, consideration, and a vote. I don't think our extraterritorial jurisdiction extends to digester plants. Would there be anything else that we could possibly do? I don't know if we have a voice.
Didn't we learn our lesson with the solar plant?
It seems unlikely that a local government will overtake. If there's a certificate of public convenience and necessity, that's usually what controls statewide.
Isn't that an area, though, where the solar was supposed to be getting put in? I thought it was supposed to come all the way up to the elementary school.
Yeah, it is, and it's it's still part of Hinchley's, and I think this is even tied in with the solar.
Oh,
It might be the same developers.
same developers.
Doing an alternative
Sure.
fuel.
What I worry about for the Village of Cambridge is if you have westward winds coming in, either northwest or southwest, we're going to get hit. But I don't know if there's anything we want to do. I'm just letting you know that that is on the, it's on the docket.
We definitely don't want to invest the funds in legal fees like you did with solar, so. We have to learn from the mistake we made there, so.
Well, and I think it's not our municipality, so,
No.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't think there's a whole lot we can do.
Anything further on this one? I'll let you know as I hear anything else. Anything else that's noteworthy. Okay, my other item I'll save. Library board.
We met on December 11th. At that time, we were on track for where we needed to be budget-wise. So we were looking pretty good to have enough money to make it through December. So I think we budgeted pretty well for 2024. We talked a little bit about the budget for 2025. We're good there. We're going to, one of the top priorities for this year is going to be the drive-up window and getting that fixed. We submitted a request to the foundation for some grants. I believe we had a person for the one position on the board, and then I believe 2 more people have applied for the other position. So we should, after this next meeting, I think we should have a full library board again. And then we are going to get together in February and March to do a policy retreat so that we can review the library bylaws, the Friends of the Library bylaws, and then existing library policies and the employee handbook. And that's it. And then our next meeting is tomorrow.
All right. Questions for Paula? Anybody? Okay. All right. Thank you, Paula. Joint law enforcement. New chair.
Yes, just had the meeting and a half hour ago. No major, you guys are gonna have to help me because it got a little disjointed there. No major updates.
Our new squad car, we should be getting
Thank
this week, hopefully by Friday.
Friday-ish, yep,
That we've been waiting for
Yep.
two and a half
couple
years.
years. Tori will be coming off paternity leave soon, so we'll be back to full duty for that.
Call volume's been pretty slow.
Yep.
Chad's looking to retire in like 13, 14 months, something like that. So, you said like 4 or 5 months prior, he'll let us know. We might have a say on who comes, whether that's Sean or people are gonna have to submit and apply for it. And there'll be an interview process, but we might have a say on who gets that. We're doing like a mix of a shift of like lieutenants and captains. So we're getting a new lieutenant. Triggs is going somewhere else. We're getting Lieutenant Moore. Chad said he's a really good guy, so it'd be good to have him. But yeah, pretty slow and everything's going smooth.
Good.
I think the call volume was down. The only thing
Yeah,
it was something with mental health or
yeah, which is common during
Yeah.
the winter.
During the holidays and stuff like that, so yeah.
Okay, questions, anybody? All right. Gonna move to village office updates. Lisa?
Public Works first, I have the update from Jay. They finished getting the snow removal equipment ready. They've salted for snow events, really haven't had enough to be out plowing. Lee Farrar has returned after his leave. Holiday decorations were removed from Main Street. They completed the first round of Christmas tree pickups, flooded the ice rink on January 2nd, opened it on the 5th. They've also added one more layer to that. They've done some mowing at the retention ponds, completed some major repairs to the brush mower, needed some welding, had a hydraulic leak and missing bolts. Cody completed and sent in the road mileage changes to the DOT for 2024. They went out and mowed the spot at the Quick Trip that we have the easement for the welcome sign, so they have an idea where that will be. They're working with the country club for the location there. Jay has also been working with the DOT on what permits we need. They're different if it's in the right of way, if it's on private property, if it says welcome to Cambridge versus just Cambridge. So he's getting what documents we need for those. They did meet with a possible LTE employee, which will be further on the agenda. Their to-do list, they still have to remove some dead damaged trees around well number 3, some at retention ponds. They'll do one last round of Christmas tree pickup the last week in January. They are getting new snow tires for the Bobcats, skid steer, snowplow truck, and the small trucks need oil changes and some general maintenance. Working with a volunteer who has offered to help with the ice skating rink. Jane's gonna give me a general liability form for them to fill out, so if they're helping, we're not held liable for anything. Working on the final locations for the signs and the approvals needed for the signs.
Okay.
When does the switch for acting director?
The end of this month,
Okay.
they've discussed it among themselves. Cody will be taking the next shift.
Okay.
Have you brought any concerns with having the interim individuals in there, anything like that?
It's been going good, I
Going
think.
well? Okay.
They discussed amongst themselves who to go next and came to me and said they decided Cody would be the next, so
Good. Sounds like they're working pretty cohesively together.
I think so.
Good.
Mhm.
Two things. One, if you can pass on our gratitude for getting the fence up along the Captioning Creek by the West Side Park, so that if we do get snow, little kids don't go zipping across, down, and then up and into the water. So it's nice to have that taken care of. And number two, this is a good report. Covers everything. And it's it's nice to have that. It's a little different than what we're used to. So,
And the ice skating rink is flooded.
Herbie?
The ice skating rink is flooded.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know if
Yep,
I've
there-
seen anybody on it.
Oh, we have.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, there's been people using
I
it.
mean, it's got to be. It's not that
But
deep.
they had to wait. The weather was so up and down to
Yeah.
see a
Yeah.
long spell of cold, so.
Okay. All right. Anything else? So, anything else that you have today, Lisa?
Yep, for mine, closing out finishing up the final stuff for the November election. April election, papers were due last Tuesday. We have Brian Hagan McNally for president. Blackwood was the only one who submitted for trustee. So there will be 2 seats vacant. What happens is the highest write-ins are offered the position. If they do not accept, then it is board's discretion if we go to future write-ins or the next ones, or if we do the process like we've done in the past. So the paperwork and stuff is starting. We will have a primary in February. There's just the state superintendent on it, and Jefferson County has a circuit court judge. So it will be a slow election, but we still have all the paperwork and everything else to do for it. Obviously, we have our new hire. I think you've met everybody on the board now. So doing all the paperwork, the state reporting and everything, and helping maneuver where we need to be, so working together on things. Obviously, mill rate worksheet, statement of taxes, levy limit worksheet, we're all done. Taxes sent out. We've been collecting since middle of December. Lucy will give an update in the treasurer's report on what we've collected so far. The first settlements they were in the packet, but we did send them out to all the taxing jurisdictions. They're doing their hands by tomorrow, so we cut those last week and got those mailed out last week. Dog tags, we closed out 2024 and have begun issuing the 2025 dog tags. We had insurance renewals for property, workers' comp, cybersecurity, etc. Finished all those, have those updated, renewal, year-end payroll, foundation grant, Tree City USA, updating our software for all of the new year, everything. W-2s, fourth quarter reports, per diems, 2% fire dues. We're done right away. I was on the ball this year. State tobacco licensing reporting. We're in the process switching over all the paper files from 2024, preparing for 2025. The room tax ordinance was published, so we will begin working on what we need to do to get that implemented.
Questions for Lisa? Anybody? All righty, good. We're going to move on to item 7, Treasurer's Report and Bills. Now, I don't know, Lucy, are you taking this one today?
I'm taking it.
Okay.
All right, so first run in the amount of $70,980.11. Second run in the amount of $1,986.10, for a total of $72,966.21. So first tax settlements of $1,432,063.09 were sent out to the different taxing jurisdictions, as Lisa had stated, which they're due tomorrow, so I was very proud that we got it out ahead. I've processed 20 batches of tax payments for Dane County in the amount of $3,124,013.32, 5 batches for Jefferson County in the amount of $133,244.40. Just to give you an idea, yesterday I got completely caught up, and I think 2 tax payments came in today, so that's all I have that is not processed that is in there today. I completed the 2024 W-2s today, and those will be handed out or mailed to all employees by the end of the week. I will also continue to send those. I'll need to send those to the federal government, the Department of Revenue, and a few other places, and I'll continue to do that and hope to have that done by the end of the week. I had a meeting with the auditor last week, and I'm preparing for the audit, which is scheduled tentatively for March 17th through the 21st. We have another check-in next week to check on progress, questions, concerns. And I have been organizing all accounting documents, which has been a big undertaking. I invite you all to come visit me at my office and see the progress, and there's still a lot to do, but that's a big part of moving forward and being able to actually do my job, is to get everything in order, especially with the audit. And then tomorrow afternoon, I will go to Badger Bank and Bank First to set up access to all accounts once we have the minutes from this meeting, and then I can dive into that.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, well, let's go back, because you brought up a number
Sure.
of things. The total checks that we have
Yes.
for this bill run, correct me if I'm wrong, $72,966.21? Okay.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills in the amount of $72,966.21.
All right.
I'll second.
Discussion? Anything at all? Anybody?
I just had a question. Workhorse Software Services, is that a bill for the year or a quarter or?
The year,
Okay.
and it is divided
I saw all the
Yep,
divisions divided into
among the
each
different,
one.
but it
Okay.
is our annual.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, observations? Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Franklin,
Yes.
Blackwood,
Yes.
Hollenbeck,
Yes.
Krakow,
Yes.
Reinig,
Yes.
McNally.
Yes. Okay, now moving on.
I have 2 questions, real quick. Direct deposit for us?
Yes, the last per diem was not direct deposit because it wasn't on our normal banking schedule to get it in by the end of the year. But for those of you who have given me your deposit stuff, it will in the future. But that last one being the timing.
Got it. Perfect. And then the library budget was not entered for 2025. I know Samantha was going to reach out to you.
Yes.
She did.
Okay.
She
super.
did. And I know you have your meeting tomorrow.
Yep.
And towards the end of the day, I started looking into that, and I saw that wasn't, and it wasn't from a journal entry that we thought.
Oh,
But
okay.
I will,
But-
that's my first
yeah.
priority in the morning,
Oh,
that she has everything updated and she can do her financial reports for the library meeting.
Excellent. All right.
And I passed on because I didn't enter our budget into Workhorse
Oh my gosh.
either because that was in an Excel.
So you got to do that too, Lucy.
Oh, it's on my list, and if you
Excellent.
come, please, I welcome you all to come and visit me. I'm a visual person, so I have a whiteboard for my daily tasks, and then I have a
nice.
big giant pad of paper for my big projects.
I love it.
Entering the budget in Workhorses on the big, that and creating the water sewer budget, there's a whole list.
Oh,
I
excellent.
welcome you to come and join, feel free to add to it and help do my best,
I
but
know.
that's how I work,
Oh my-
and
that
I have
sounds
to have a
great.
day list, focus, and then if that gets done early, then I can start to go and
Big
at the
picture.
big things, so.
Can I bring
Great.
my dog?
Thank you, Lucy.
You can, absolutely.
You have made a marked improvement in your office conditions.
Thank you.
I don't see files on the floor, and it looks professional, so keep up the good work.
Thank you, and I didn't just hide it all. I am a very organized person, and it all needs to make sense, and I need to know where everything is, and,
Okay.
and I have confidence. I keep telling myself this is temporary, and I will have a full system and feel for how my, my month and each week is gonna look within the month. It's just gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah. Last week when I was there, I signed checks, I think for, was it roughly $1.5 million for the
The
taxing
tax
jurisdictions. So those were out. So you collected $3 million, and we turned around and we spent $1.5 million. It just, we have to do that.
the
Did
way
you do
it
that math
goes.
in your head?
I was, yeah, actually, I was looking at them as I'm writing it. Which kind of gets us into an observation. The previous week, you remember I was, Lisa and I were signing checks, and everything was okay, but there was one check to the accounting firm. And I think this check was, what, 32,000, 35,000, something like that. And I thought that that was more than what our audit fee was. And I asked Lisa about this. She gave me a sheet, and bottom line is in 2024, it appears as though the previous financial, our treasurer, had called up the accounting firm for
Auditing.
firm for $22,000 of advice.
Additional work outside of the audit itself.
Ouch.
And I didn't know anything about this until the check came through, and I'm seeing the amount. I felt like I needed to let you know this is a substantial sum of money. I don't know what they were charging per hour. It was, it's usually
They
It's,
waited until the end of the bill year and then dropped the whole, yeah.
We did most of it. There was a check for 30,000 roughly at the beginning of the year, some of which was for the 2022 audit still. Some was for work at the beginning of 2023. So that was listed, and then this one was broken down, the audit work, and additional work,
how often do they bill us, monthly or?
We had gotten billed twice during the year,
Okay.
yeah.
What I can do, just for full transparency, and me and Mark chatted about it on Friday, is they will not do my job. I promise you. I felt like I was put in a position because I understand not wanting to use them for any extra services, but I'm also going to be trying to balance books that have not been balanced for quite some time. I'd say at least 6 months, maybe more. Once I get in there, I'll be able to let you know. The previous treasurer also did not rectify after the 2023 audit. There's about 5.5 pages, and it's very small print, of journal entries that she was supposed to enter. And then once that was done, everything would be balanced and, good in the system, and none of those were entered.
Or 2024 ones.
2024 hasn't been audited yet. Well,
2023, right, sorry.
So I actually,
year.
that was on my to-do list, and at the end of the night, it was like 6:30 last night. I kept going. I'm like, come on, let's find one. And these are all like accounts that don't get used often, bonds or interest, ones that need to be made adjustments. Came in first thing this morning, came in extra early, gave my contact a call over there. I let him know because he was sure that she had done this. I said she did not. I said, I'm like, I have a list from Lisa of all the journal entries that you guys provided and that Tammy was supposed to enter. And I scanned it, sent it to him. He actually had a little bit more of an updated one, sent it back to me, wants me to go off that, gave me a bunch of instructions and target numbers where things should be once I get those. We're talking about 300 to 400 journal entries that I'm going to have to enter, and that's like top priority on my list, and that's for 2023. But I will be working on that. I guess my pledge is that I will not be abusing the auditors. I'll see if there's a way that if I'm being billed for services, even like the call this morning, I'm not sure how they do that, but I want to see if we can get at least quarterly, if not monthly. I was only on the phone with them for 5 to 10 minutes,
Yeah,
but
and those they won't charge us for phone calls.
okay.
Our meeting with them last week, they won't charge us,
just the check-in,
the check-ins
preparing
and stuff,
for the audit.
but,
Okay. So I can give you any update if I use any time that is considered additional. I will absolutely present that in my treasurer report, and make sure that I'm aware of that.
And our contract with them did have the rates and what they would charge for additional assistance and in the contract, but, yeah. I was not aware, well, I wasn't aware of the extent that they were being used. I know at times they were called and it's like, no, try to figure things out yourself first, and Lucy's been great at that as we're working on things. She's like, let me look at it, see if I can figure it out. If not, I'll come to you, get your assistance, and, but.
I find it interesting that we are, right, the explanation was that we're appalled by this action? Right?
Yeah, somebody goes ahead and runs up a $22,000 bill without
But
us
this is
having
the
any.
standard operating procedures for the Fire and EMS Commission. This is what the Fire and EMS Commission does on the regular. But we're appalled by this?
Chris, I'm not understanding it. We're talking
The
about.
non-reporting, the spending money and not letting anybody know, getting mystery checks and everything, right? It's frustrating. We're appalled by it because we don't do business like that in Cambridge.
That is correct.
Right.
So why hasn't that
Resonated.
concern been raised regarding fire and EMS
Right.
versus?
Has anybody told me?
No, we're not saying you. I'm not saying you.
not you.
I'm not putting it on you.
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying we're appalled by that. It's egregious, right?
It is. You have $22,000, and I'm looking, if you have an amount that you want to talk about with fire and EMS, that's fine.
We'll get to that.
Okay,
We'll
but
get to
for
that.
right now, there's $22,000 that I saw as an expense that was run up by somebody, and I'm not saying that the work wasn't performed, but it was not authorized by this body. Okay.
Specifically, the contract is signed that if additional work is, they will bill us for that. So it is in the contract. It wasn't that the auditors were abusing anything. It is in their contract. But
And like I
Yeah.
said, I will reach out, I have an update, a meeting next week, with my contact, and I will also see if there's anything that, I'm sure there is, where there's more transparency, so even if it's like a quick phone call, that all of a sudden there's not a surprise at the end of the year, because for me, I would not, be okay with that, and I have very high ethical standard. They're there to assist me when I've exhausted all other, my resources here and done my work. They're not there to do the
For you.
accounting for me.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, what was abused. And so I just want to, pledge to you guys, super transparent. Everyone's welcome. And I may need a little bit of assistance, and I'll let you know in my treasurer's report just until I get everything cleaned up. Because obviously 2023 hasn't been rectified, and we're starting the 2024 audit. But I have full faith, and I'm not afraid to put in the time and the energy and to get it all where it needs to be. So.
I appreciate that.
All right. Anything else? Okay. We're going to move on then. Item 8A, signatories on bank accounts.
So we need actions from the board to take Tammy's name off of accounts at both Badger Bank and Bank First, replace them with Lucy. Everybody else can stay the same. Mark and myself are on them. Samantha's on some library accounts. So, they need minutes saying that, yes, we are replacing Tammy Jordan with Lucy Peterson on the accounts at their bank, so that she can then have access to everything and be one of the signatories on the checks.
I'll make a motion to remove Tammy Jordan and add Lucy Peterson as signatories for accounts that we have at Badger Bank and Bank First.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carries. Okay. This is probably going to get right into the village credit card.
Yep, so for the village credit card, we had two of them currently, one with the administrator's name, one with the public works director. So asking again to get rid of the public works director, as we haven't named a full one yet. Still good to have two cards so that in the middle of the night, if you need gas and so forth, they can go to the pumps, but to probably just have the administrator name on both cards at this time until a permanent public works director is named. And taking Todd Lord's name off of the one.
So Todd's name comes off.
I'll make a motion to remove Todd Lord from the village credit card account, and at this point in time to just have the village administrator Lisa Milton's name on the account until we hire a permanent director.
I will second.
Okay. Now, if we do that, obviously Todd is no longer here. We have to buy gas at 3 in the morning for whatever reason, a sewer break or something.
They can use the village card with.
Okay, they can. They still have on it.
They would use it with Todd's name on it if, Cody went to the pumps, he could use it.
All right. Okay.
But
All right. Okay. Any other questions on this? All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carries. Village credit card. All right, hiring of limited term of employment for Public Works. Lisa?
We did some reaching out to people. We did not find a LTE person with a CDL, but a village resident did come forward interested in the position. He does not have a CDL. He did meet with all of the guys down at the shop. They kind of ran through with him different things, different equipment, had him get on some equipment. They felt comfortable that he could be a very useful addition, even without the CDL. So they were looking at hiring him. They talked at $15.50 an hour to start, with possible increase after a 3 or 6 month review, increasing it. But
Was there any
did-
discussion about a guarantee of hours? There is no guarantee of hours,
there is
correct?
no guarantee of hours. He does have a part-time job. He works Mondays and Tuesdays, I believe. So he was sharing his schedule with Jay, when he'd be available and so forth. Yes, no guarantee of hours as needed. You know, in the winter, not having the CDL, it would be more doing the sidewalks and, you know, with the pickup truck, doing the parking lot here, if it's a small, things like that. Mowing, helping with line painting, things like that.
Who's going to determine when they're needed?
The director at the time.
What did we say, we were doing the budget not to exceed 5,000? Is that
I
enough?
believe it was
I think
10.
it was
Is
10.
it 10?
I'd have to go
Mhm.
back and
We-
look.
We
but,
did give a specific
Um,
maximum.
So that's 10,000 would be 645 hours. That's a lot.
Which I can't anticipate at this stage of the game we would use.
Well, it was snow plowing and then it was cutting grass.
Cutting grass and
Mhm.
painting lines and stuff like that, 'cause they need the third person,
Yeah, the
but,
street painting is gonna be a big one,
mhm,
spring, summer.
so.
Yeah, and when we do get snow, to have that
That
third guy
third
is
guy. Yeah.
allows them a lot more flexibility.
And hydrant flushing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Certain tasks that need more
So-
hands on deck.
Does he have any other qualifications or skills or?
I did, like I said, I've got it here. I did send it to the, not, oh, not in the, like I said, he's a nurse. He hasn't worked in Public Works, but they did run him through equipment and had him get on equipment, and they felt comfortable that he'd,
Received the blessing of,
yeah,
yeah, the guy, the sign off, I should say, of the guys.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was, correct me if I'm wrong, there was another individual that they had reached out to, but he had taken a different position already. He was
Yeah,
the one
that's
with the
somebody I
CDL.
had talked to with the
Mhm.
CDL, and,
Yeah.
and they reached out to a couple with CDLs that they thought, but, yeah. So,
Do you
Okay.
want to go with 5,000 or 10,000
Hours? Or dollars?
dollars?
It was 10,000 for the budget, didn't it?
I
Wasn't
think
that what we put in?
10,000.
Is that what we?
say
I
that's
would-
what we
Yeah.
do.
Rather keep it
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
10,000 and not hope we don't use it all, as opposed to come up short and short the guys.
All right. What's his name? Or we don't-
Jason Steele?
Steel.
They'll be
Anybody?
keeping a track on kind of the hours then, right? Just a kind of note, so.
Yeah, our software will keep track of the hours and the amounts.
All right, I'll make a motion to hire Jason Steele as a LTE employment for Public Works, not to exceed $10,000.
I'll second.
Okay. Any further
At the
discussion?
15.50.
Yeah, it's
15.50,
at the
yes.
15.50 per hour.
All right. This was already part of the budget, but do we need to do roll call on this one?
No.
Okay. All right, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, looks like we've got a new lad that will be helping us out with striping the streets, mowing the lawns, and shoveling, plowing.
Extra hands is
Yeah.
what we need.
Okay,
Comfortable with that?
all right, moving on, up unfinished business. We have one item here, Fire Commission update. Chris?
Yeah, we had a meeting on January 8th, and we discussed about 19 different items. Some of the highlights were the fire chief's report, the EMS chief's report, director's report. Treasurer's report was not
Lacking.
it was, yeah, I would say,
Lacking.
yeah, I'm trying to be PC somewhat here, but it was not, it was a little frustrating. So, but then we also got into talking about the commission insurance, and that brought up the fact that there has been a couple companies that have been, that Dave Schrader has reached out to. And we have another one, I believe it's January 21st,
Commission meeting?
commission meeting.
That's what they said.
Right, so we're gonna dig into the budget as well as this insurance, because that's out, you know, that ends in February. So we're getting down to crunch time. We need to spend some time, invest some time as a commission to come up with the 2025 budget. I'm sure we will be discussing more of that during the closed session tonight. We did talk about and approve, after coming out of closed session, the collective bargaining agreement. And we can get into some details on that and in closed as well. We did make a motion to accept the EMS director's resignation. So he is with us until March, I believe.
7th, 5th, 7th?
Yeah,
something like
about
that.
47 more days, 48 more days. I don't know who's counting. And then we discussed some DWD complaints during the closed session, but there was 3 motions made coming out of closed. Oh, yeah, to post the
Write a new
Yeah,
job description.
job description
post
for the
a
EMS
description
director position, so.
to accept his resignation, and I don't remember what the third one
EMS
was.
director?
Yeah.
That's gonna be EMS director.
As per the IGA.
As per the
All right,
IG,
that's, as long as that's clear,
Yeah,
very clear.
if that's the direction we choose to
Krista.
pursue.
So it seemed like a very long meeting. It seemed like it carried on for quite a while. We had some news folks there and everything, but
Some spirited public comment.
some very spirited public comment from all municipalities, and you know, we had some participation too here from the board. I appreciate you guys showing up, gals showing up, and kind of seeing how these meetings go. I think that is all I have to report.
Action item for us,
Yeah.
we did receive
The
a
first
bill December 12th, saying a due date of January 1st for the first quarter for 2025. I was not going to pay that until I had approval from the board to pay. We did the next day receive an email from the EMS director that, please be advised, an adjusted invoice assessment will be coming after the district budget is set. So the bill they sent us was based on the 2023 budget.
So is that email following, so they're saying here, pay this 62,000 and change, which was our 2023 2023 and 2024 payment. And then we received that email saying there will be an adjustment coming down the road. If we agree to pay this payment tonight, does that mean we are agreeing to whatever they say our adjustment will be going forward? Because that's my concern.
Just for the consensus here of the meeting, I would like to make a motion to move 9A1 to after we reconvene into open session. As for the actionable item on it.
Oh, on the payment?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Say good job.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
You look confused.
No, I'm just trying to remember if that doesn't require a roll call.
No.
Okay, so we'll talk about that payment after we come out of our closed session. Is there anything else at this time, Chris?
No, any questions for me?
At what point will a collective bargaining agreement become public record?
Once it's
It
Should
should
be
be
once
now
it's
because
ratified.
It is
It's been
yeah, it was
ratified, so it should
ratified
be.
prior to us approving it. Now it goes back to them. They've already voted, so it should be public record now.
So one of the things you did, and I don't know if you want to talk about this now or in our closed session, but you had asked our current treasurer about more detailed financial reports as far as, and you had received some bank statements and things along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about that now, or do you want to talk about that in closed session? Because I have some serious concerns.
Yeah, I did ask, after I didn't get an inconclusive response during the meeting, it was stated during the meeting, hey, and I said, you know, I owe my board answers. I keep coming, and we have a standing agenda item when it comes to fire and EMS commission. I owe them answers on finances. And I was told during the meeting that he could provide me those bank statements. I followed up with him, and he did have Badger Bank print out the bank statements for my review. I had a family situation happen, so I asked Kristen to take a look at some things, find some anomalies.
Wasn't hard to do.
And those anomalies we can discuss during closed session.
Okay.
But I guess the silver lining is as Cambridge representative, we asked for something and we got it.
We got it.
What? I'm shocked.
Yeah. So
I think it's still concerning to me that there was discussion that there had been budget work from whoever we is.
I would imagine that'd be the CPA and Dave Strader. But
And
it's,
nowhere have you been included in any of that discussion,
yeah.
despite the fact that we are still one of the 4 municipalities in there,
Yeah, we're now the highest paying.
the highest paying.
municipality, so. Yeah, I have no response to that. It's alarming, but it's also, it's a new year. And I want to be optimistic that we can move forward with, hopefully, you know, we all take on Lucy's mentality of transparency and we can go down that road. I'd like to be optimistic about it because this hasn't been a good year for me so far, so I'm, you know, what is the saying about hope being eternal, Mark? You probably know that.
Well, yeah, I do.
What is it?
Hope springs eternal.
That's right. So that's what I'm hoping.
Okay. All right, we're going to go into closed session. We can talk about some of these items, I guess,
All right.
with a little bit more fluidity. Is there anything else at this time, Chris?
No, anything for me? Brian, I can see those
Nope, I'll sit
gerbils
for
going
closed
around your head.
session.
Okay, moving on, correspondence, I do not see anything. Okay, questions, referrals to staff, future agenda items. I have one, but does anybody else have anything?
I had a recommendation for the Economic Development Committee. I was reading the minutes that you guys are looking at murals and ordinances for that. I had an overnight in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I don't know if you guys have been there. There's murals everywhere. It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
I thought, I mean, whatever they're doing it right. So, this recommendation to.
We mentioned La Crosse. We've
Okay,
got
cool.
things from Ashland. They do have a big mural program. Actually,
Monona.
Lucy talked
Monona.
about what they did at
Monona's doing a
Sunbury,
bunch
so
too,
we
I
actually got some things
Good.
kind of in work with that. So
Cool.
it's a little bit of a partnership of it's not just economic development. It's also like art and then
Yeah.
some other folks
Yeah.
too. So
Okay, cool.
yep, thank you.
That's awesome.
I have one item for all of us, and I don't know how we would do this if we wanted to do it, but, you know, we've got this tragedy, it's terrible, in California, and they're gonna be looking for anything and everything. I mean, they've got nothing. And I don't know if there is a way that the Village of Cambridge wants to get behind either clothing drives. I haven't seen anything, but they're gonna need everything from clothing and appliances. Vehicles are probably out of the question, but do we want to try to do anything, or are there other agencies that, you know, we could go to and just do something on our own?
We contribute to CART, and CART probably, you know, we can earmark things through CART to say, can you send it, or, you know,
Yeah.
And a lot-
distribute it as you see fit.
I know when the hurricanes and stuff occurred, and the stuff down in Tennessee and those types of things, at some points they get inundated with, you know, so they try to direct them through specific agencies, so we should look and see.
Like Red Cross.
Yeah, Red
Yeah.
Cross, United Way, some of the other ones.
Yeah.
And they had posted, I think the Los Angeles County Fire Department had posted a few organizations that they were working in conjunction with.
All right. I guess I can reach out to CART and see what
I think it's a great idea.
what
but-
they are doing, and then try to, you know, help them, let them run with it. I just, I mean, these people, what is their buildings? They lost 10,000 homes. I mean, you're just gone. And that was the last count. Do you guys know any more about it? Meet my Joe, the fire.
The last I heard this morning that, there's a new fire that started and it's.
Is that the
just out-
Brentwood one?
Uh,
Is that Brentwood?
I think it was Brentwood, but it was, I can't remember the number, if it was 5,000 acres this morning, but they were talking to have high winds again and
Santa Ana winds.
There's
Yeah.
multiple fires over in that area, and I think they were expecting more high winds, not as bad as they have been, but they were expecting another
Santa
high
Ana
winds
winds this time
ordeal.
of year is.
Killing 'em.
It's this time of year for the Santa Ana, so.
All right.
Palisades is only like 14% contained.
Okay.
Um,
All right. What I'll do is I'll contact CART and see if what they're all about. I mean, I know we are stretched, but if people want to make donations, we should be able to accommodate that.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? Future agenda items? Okay. Upcoming meetings. We've got a grouping here. Water and sewer on the 21st. The 28th is our next village board.
And I miss library tomorrow.
Okay, library for tomorrow evening, which would make that January 15th. February 4th, economic development. The 12th is the library board, and the 18th is a primary election. So, is there anything else? Okay, that takes us to item 13. Help, please. Anybody?
I'll make a motion to convene into closed session per 19.851 Echo, deliberating or negotiating the purchasing of public properties, excuse me, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session, and 19.851 Golf, conferring with legal counsel for the governmental body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or likely to become involved. Fire and EMS Commission.
Go ahead.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Blackwood,
Yes.
Hollenbeck,
Yes.
Krakow,
Yes.
Reinig,
Yes.
Franklin,
Yes.
McNally.
Yes. Okay, let's take a
said no.
7-minute